Most people think toxic people chase weak people. That's wrong. In reality, toxic people are drawn to a specific psychological pattern, and if you have it, they can sense it within minutes. If you've ever wondered why certain people drain you, cross your boundaries, or attach themselves to your life again and again, stay with me because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what signals you're sending and how to shut them off without becoming cold or rude. First one is the pattern that keeps repeating. You know the type. Someone new enters your life, and at first, they seem exciting, interesting, even a little intense. They open up fast, share their problems, and hint, "I don't usually feel comfortable with people." And before you notice, you've become their emotional anchor. Weeks pass. You're drained, tired, and constantly managing their moods. And you can't help but wonder, why does this keep happening to me? Here's the truth most people miss. Toxic people don't attach randomly. They attach predictably, scanning for people who stay calm, consistent, and reliable even when things get messy. The very traits that make you reliable are exactly what keeps them coming back. Stick around because next we're breaking down why predictability is their favorite signal and how it works against you without you even realizing it. Toxic people aren't after weakness. They're after predictability. If you stay calm under pressure, explain yourself instead of walking away, remain polite when someone crosses a line, then it means that you're sending a signal. I won't react the way most people do. Not emotionally safe, but are behaviorally safe. Toxic people notice it and they memorize patterns. Push here, no reaction. Push there, still no reaction. Before long, they know exactly how far they can go, and they keep testing it. The most empathetic, patient, and reliable people, they unknowingly become magnets for manipulation. Next, we'll reveal the real currency toxic people are after, and why being emotionally intelligent actually makes you more attractive to them. Here's where things usually go wrong. Being emotionally aware, reflective, and a good listener. Sounds like a strength, right? It is. But toxic people see it differently. They don't see a friend. They see emotional access. You listen. You validate. You try to understand their pain. Psychologists call this emotional labor, regulating someone else's emotional state. And here's the catch. Toxic people crave it because they can't do it themselves. So they unload, over and over. And if you don't interrupt it early, they assume permanent access. Not because they're evil, because it works. Next, we're uncovering the point where empathy turns into responsibility, and why that's when most people get stuck in toxic cycles. This is a crucial turning point. Don't skip it. Empathy means you understand how someone feels. Responsibility means you feel obligated to fix it. Toxic people blur that line. They overshare early. Talk about being misunderstood. Drop hints that everyone else left them. And suddenly your brain thinks, if I don't help, I'm abandoning them. This is called empathic overextension. What happens next? Their behavior starts to feel explainable instead of unacceptable. And this is exactly where most people get stuck. Stick with me because next we're breaking down why forgiveness without boundaries actually makes things worse, and how toxic people learn to push limits. Being slow to anger is usually a strength. But toxic people test limits in small ways first. Subtle insults, guilt trips, tiny boundary crosses by accident. If nothing happens, they escalate. Here's the hard truth. Toxic people don't respond to how you feel. They respond to what you enforce. Forgiveness that comes faster than consequences teaches them one thing. This relationship is damage-proof. And once they believe that, respect erodes fast. Next, we'll reveal why avoiding conflict actually makes you a bigger target, and what that hidden signal really says. Many people who attract toxic dynamics learned early. Conflict equals danger. So you soften your words. Delay tough conversations. Choose peace over clarity. Toxic people sense this instantly. Why? Clarity creates friction. Friction creates accountability. Without accountability, toxic behavior thrives quietly. Psychologists call this asymmetrical confrontation. One person avoids tension. The other exploits it. Stick around because next we'll uncover the silent signals you might be giving that seal the deal for toxic people. Here's a subtle but powerful truth. Healthy people leave early when something feels off. Toxic people, they stay, and they watch. They notice. Do you exit uncomfortable conversations? Do you push back on small disrespect? Do you disengage when something feels wrong? If you don't, they assume you won't later either. Boundaries aren't explained. They're demonstrated. Silence is often interpreted as permission. Next, we'll see why so many people end up blaming themselves, and how that keeps the cycle alive. This is the final trap. People who attract toxic dynamics often self-reflect more than they self-protect. When something goes wrong, you ask, "What did I do wrong?" Instead of, "Is this acceptable behavior?" Self-awareness without self-protection turns inward. Toxic people thrive where accountability flows in only one direction. Stick with me because next we'll reset the narrative and reveal why it's not your fault, and how your strengths can actually protect you. Let's reset the narrative. You didn't attract toxic people because you're broken. You attracted them because you're emotionally intelligent in a world that often exploits it. Your traits, empathy, patience, loyalty, depth, are neutral tools. In healthy relationships, they create connection. In unhealthy ones, they get used against you. The solution: not becoming colder, becoming clearer. Next, we'll break down the shift that ends the pattern for good, without turning you into someone you're not. Here's the shift that changes everything. You stop managing other people's comfort at the expense of your own clarity. That means naming discomfort early, allowing silence without fixing it, letting people feel disappointed, leaving before resentment builds. When access requires accountability, toxic people lose interest. They move on, but healthy people stay. Next, we'll explore what you'll notice once you make this shift, and why the difference is so dramatic. Manipulators feel uncomfortable. Users disengage. Drama fades, not because you fought harder, but because you stopped participating. And the people who respect you more afterward? Those were never toxic. Stick around because next we'll ask the one question that completely breaks the cycle. The real question isn't, "Why are toxic people drawn to me?" It's, "Why did I confuse tolerance with kindness and boundaries with selfishness?" Once you answer that, the cycle ends. If you want to understand why setting boundaries feels uncomfortable at first, and how to do it without guilt, watch the next video on your screen.